Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome back. Thanks for viewing my video. In this video I do the contemporary books that are already classics in my heart tag. Melody at Melodie's Book Nook did this tag and she tagged anyone watching her video. The original creator of this tag is Andrew at YCBRM. Per Melodie. Prompt: listen, talk about books from any genre that are published past the year 2000 that you want to be remembered as classic novels in the future. I'm going to try to remember to include the videos of both Andrew and Melodie. I haven't been doing a good job at that, although you can always just go to their channel and get the videos, but it's easier if I do the linking. So, put a lot of thought into this, and at first I was going to pick books that I highly rated, and which would, I guess, be a good idea. But then I backed off a little bit, and it's like, even if I highly rated a book, it might not be something that I feel is going to maybe stand the test of time with me. So that's what these books are. Some of them, one in particular, I feel confident is going to be a classic book. It's going to be, I think it'll really stand the test of time. Others I'm not so sure. Have to see. Not going to say too much about these books, just mostly just going to list them and just say a little bit. My first choice is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Kalynn. This is a YA dystopian novel. I don't feel it's necessary for me to say anything more than that. By now, if you're remotely interested in this book, you're familiar with it. Or even if you didn't see the book, you probably watched the movie. So I think of any of the books that I mentioned, this is the one that truly I expect to actually become a classic eventually. And I'm not sure how long it takes a book to be considered a classic. I've heard the term modern classic, but I think I'm very confident that The Hunger Games will be considered a classic at some point, whatever necessary time has to pass. The only negative slightly is it's YA, and I'm not sure if in, say, college English classes or whatever, I suspect they have a bit of prejudice against YA novels, but hopefully I'm wrong. The second book is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This is a YA friendship/romance between two troubled students. They both have things going on in their personal lives. They both have mental health issues. This book packs an emotional wallop. The third book is The Will of the Many by James Islington. This is a fantasy. I kind of think it should be considered partly sci-fi too. The society in this book is set up like a pyramid scheme. There are 8 levels. The bottom level is called the octavy. There is something called will that people have. It's never specifically defined, but it's obviously basically a life force. And the octavy cede half their will to the Stephenie, and there's like half the people in that layer of society, and so on and so forth to the top. And with each higher level, people become more and more powerful. Will basically controls everything. Transportation, everything. Everything's controlled by will. And the main character in the book is Vis, a 17-year-old. He is recruited to go to a very elite training school where the children of the elite go there to basically learn and pass various tests, and the results of those tests determine how they're going to be placed in society, what level of government, and how high they'll take part, because they're the children of the movers and shakers. Really good book, great world building. I'm partway through the second book. I think it's ultimately going to be a 5-book series. The next book is I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. This is a YA sapphic romance. It is set at a Southern Christian school where they are not particularly welcoming to sapphic romances or any non-traditional romances, but the Heroine of the book, Chloe Green, is very smart, and she's a candidate to be a valedictorian, so I guess they sort of accept her for that reason. And there's a mystery involved too. Quite an enjoyable book. Next book is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kalynn Bayron. This is a great take on the summer camp, slasher, final girl tropes. They do a great job of it. This also, although not up front, also has a sapphic romance in it. It's not at the forefront though, it's just, this book is not a romance, it's a YA horror novel. The next book is Bunny by Mona Awad. I've talked about this book a lot lately. This book is set at a prestigious New England college. The heroine is in her final year in her MFA program. She's with a group of other young women who refer to each other frequently as Bunny, as in, I love you, Bunny, that's great, Bunny, and so on and so forth. The heroine both is repelled by this group of young women, but also wants to be part of it. And eventually she gets invited to something called the Smut Salon, and she soon sees what they're trying to do. And it's kind of not the greatest thing, but it's a very enjoyable book. It does go into the weird. This is a book that people either love or hate, or at least maybe love or maybe don't understand and don't think it's worth trying. You're not necessarily able to understand everything. The next book is Gorgeous Gruesome Faces by Linda Cheng. This book is set in this book we have, at the beginning of this book, there is two young women who were once really good friends but have had a falling out. They were part of a 3-person group who starred in an American-based K-drama, and they became an American-based K-pop group. But one of the members died under very mysterious circumstances, and the two others had a falling out. There is a new program going to start up in Atlanta that is a training program, recruitment program for K-pop, K-drama idols, and the two main characters apply to it. There's some horror there, some body horror, there's some supernatural elements, there's people trying to rekindle their friendship, a lot to it. I really liked it. The next book is Natural Beauty by Ling Huang. The main character of this book is recruited to join a lifestyle beauty company, and immediately upon joining, she sees there's some strange procedures they do. This book is an adult horror novel. There's some body horror. It's part commentary on what's non-Western women will do to try to conform to Western beauty standards. And the story is tense, especially as it gets to its conclusion. The next book is Yellowface by Kuang. The main character of this book is with her friend, and I would use quotation marks for the friend because she's not necessarily a great friend, because what happens is the woman she's visiting, who's a popular author, dies in the presence of the main character, and the main character is kind of a struggling writer. She's not doing that well. So what she does is she takes advantage of the opportunity, and she steals a mostly finished manuscript and proceeds to sell it as her own, presents herself as a racially ambiguous character. The author who died is of Asian descent. And it's just, it's an impressive book to me that a unlikable, unreliable main character is. The book is interesting to me because that takes special skill. The next book is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. A very powerful, virulent flu spreads all over the world, kills most of the population, and the book does go back and forth to before and after this event, shows the lives of some of the people before the event and then the lives after the event. It moves to 20 years after the event. It's a really good book. It occurred well before the pandemic, so this wasn't a book written after that to kind of capitalize on that. It occurred before. A great, I guess we'd say, sometimes I get confused between what's apocalyptic or dystopian, but this is basically a book that shows what happens when there's something that causes the decline of civilization and kills most of the population. The next book is The Honeys by Ryan Sala. The main character is a trans boy. His sister died in mysterious circumstances at a summer camp that he used to attend, but he stopped going because his sister died under mysterious circumstances. He decided to go to the summer camp this year to try to figure out how his sister died. And once he gets there, there was a very mysterious group of girls there. At this summer camp, people are assigned to do various tasks, and these girls, the tasks they've taken on for years, predecessor of these girls, they raise honeybees, thus where the term the honeys came. This book does go in a weird direction, and which I love. It has been compared by some to Bunny, which I mentioned earlier, Bunny by Mona Awad. Really like this book. There have been people, however, who recommended this book to who didn't like it, but it is what it is. The next book is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. In this book, there is an underground cavern, literally underground, where there's a group of people who protect books and stories. There's another group of people who are trying to take control of the books and stories from them. And the main character becomes involved in this, becomes part of the underground group. And this was a really good book. And this book, about halfway through, it kind of did a flip, and it became kind of vibes, and it was the first book I read where I really understood what the term all vibes meant. So to enjoy this book, you got to be willing to read that switch, and second half of the book realize you're not going to understand everything that's happening. And the final book is probably maybe one of the few, or maybe the only one of these books that might be controversial, but that is Twilight by Stephenie Meyer. I know it's a book that on the one hand is massively popular, on the other hand is much derided, but I love the book. I actually loved all the 4 books in the series. So for me, it's a book that I would consider already a classic because I just loved it. I will never claim it's all that well written, but I just love the story and I love the characters. So that's my list of books that I consider books that are already classics in my mind. Next, I'm going to tag some people. First, I'm going to tag anyone viewing this video. And I'm also going to tag a group of people in the description of the video. If you like to list any contemporary books that you think are already classics in your mind, please do so in a video of your own or in my comments. If you can't think of anything else you'd like to comment, please add an emoji, perhaps a book or book stack emoji, or an emoji of your choice. I hope you're having a wonderful reading week. I hope you're having a wonderful week in general. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like, please subscribe. Please hit the bell to get notified when I upload future videos.